It's not about me responding. It's about me remembering to remember to respond. You know what I mean? It's not what you don't know. It's what you don't know that you don't even know. And it's like 99% of the times when we go do a battle report to review, it's like, oh yeah, I saw that all along, but it was in the background. It was back here in the, it was floating in your consciousness. You were thinking about it, but you weren't consciously thinking about it. Right. And then when something happens, then it gets thrown up to the front. So that's what all that is. It's all about pulling up to the front and seeing the patterns that you're not seeing. It's like, that's what keeps us stuck, is that we get stuck in these patterns. We forget the root word for human being in Arabic is to forget. We forget, and we forget over and over and over again. We forget who we are. We forget what we're doing. We forget what we're trying to accomplish. And then we go into reaction instead of response. It's surface level thought. It's what it is. It's surface level. They don't go down below the surface and go, okay, what does this mean? And I think it's because people are so traumatized that to go down in underneath the water, their language patterns are so tied up, and it's like 90%, over 90% of thoughts are repetitive, 80% of them are negative. Most people are living a dream, and really what most people are living is a nightmare. Like, they're living a nightmare. And so why would I go down and look at what that means? And it's like the little kid who puts the blanket over his head because of the boogeyman. The problem isn't the boogeyman. The problem is the blanket. And so it's like getting them to take off the blanket and okay, what does this mean? And when they're willing to go underneath the surface and look at themselves, that gives them permission then to do the same out here. What does that mean? Oh, because they know there's another layer there. They've seen that there's a layer in here, and now they embody the fact that yes, there's more to this than what it appears. There's a deeper level going on, and if I can give myself permission, the only way to do that, it's like I tell people, some things can't be learned; they have to be earned. You got to be willing to go down in and look at your stuff. When you're willing to go down in and look at what your stuff really means, when you're willing to do that, you're able to see farther down the road and see what stuff really means right in front of you. And now you're working consciously because your work is now being projected out into the world. The other thing, though, is to remember is that it's that Marianne Williams quote. They say, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. You've heard that, right? It's the last piece. Like, that first piece sells tickets to events. It sounds really great. It sells books, but it's that last piece. When I am liberated from my fears, my presence unconsciously liberates others. When I would let my light shine, I give you permission to do the same. That's the juicy part. That's the real, oh, wow. It's when we decide to wake up and I decide to do my work and no longer live in those same limitations, I'm giving you permission to no longer live out of your limitations. My presence automatically liberates you.